Hello, Vivek. Can you see me?
Yeah. Hi. How are you,
Hello.
ma'am?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm also good. It's very nice to have you back. So we are live on YouTube. Just give me a minute to share my screen.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. A very good evening, good morning, and good afternoon to all of you who all have joined us live for this International Educators Bootcamp for session number 2. I hope you all are excited for this bootcamp, as we all are. And today I also have another amazing guest with us, whom I will be introducing very shortly. So I hope you all are excited. Now, comment down like from where you are joining us, from which country you are joining us. And by the time, do not forget to fill out the pre-survey form. The QR code is there in front of you. I'll share the QR code and focus it more in the upcoming slide. We will be starting very shortly. I hope you all are very excited for the session number 2 of this bootcamp. So we have people joining from India, Dubai, Kenya, Portugal. So we have a lot of people joining from various countries, and I'm very happy to see you all here. We have people joining us from Pakistan as well, Commonwealth of Dominica. It's very nice to have you. We will be starting our session very shortly. By the time, I request all of you to please fill out the survey form. Yes, DG Kids, we will be having attendance form for each day that we will be sharing in the end of the session. But the new joinees who haven't filled out the pre-survey form, I request them to fill that. We have people joining us from Canada as well. It's very nice to have you. We have people joining us from Punjab. We have people joining us from Philippines, British Virgin Islands, and I'm very happy to have you all here. So by the time we start up the session, I request you to fill the pre-survey form if you haven't. This pre-survey form will help us out to understand how much we have impacted you all through this educators bootcamp that we organize each year, and we are planning more this year. So I request you all to please fill this pre-survey form if you haven't. The QR code is there in front of your screen. I'm also sharing the pre-survey form link in the chat box for your ease. If you haven't filled it, please do it right now. Make sure that you stay tuned the entire session because I will be sharing the attendance form at the end so that you can mark your attendance and secure your participation certificate. Now I have something to show to you guys. Just allow me a moment. I'll share it with you. Are you all able to see that I'm having a face filter on my face? So I have named this activity Lovely Vivek, because this makes myself very lovely and very jolly. And I feel very happy having a face filter on my face. So this activity that you are seeing over here of a face filter activity, which is quite famous among youngsters. In case of Snapchat or Instagram, you might have heard about these applications. Such applications have such face filters, which make those applications very engaging and interactive as well. So why don't you think, you must be thinking that this activity code will be very big. Um, don't you think that? This activity code is just this code. That's it. That's the entire code of this activity of making your own face filter application. So you see, with help of PictoBlox Junior, you can create wonders. Look how lovely I'm looking, right? I am already very lovely. I'm already very jolly, but this makes me more. So I'm very happy that with the help of PictoBlox Junior blocks, we can create such applications plus such activities with very ease and very less block of code, right? Plus, with that, AI concepts can be taught to kids in a very friendly and easy way. So this is how PictoBlox Junior Blocks is wonderful for your classroom and will transform your classroom to the 21st classroom. Yeah. So I hope you all are excited to see the Jolly Vivek on your screen. All right, let's head back to the session then. I think we are good to go and start with the session. All right. I hope you all have filled the pre-survey form. If you haven't, the pre-survey form is going to be shared in each and every session. It's not a new form. It's a form that we shared on the first day also. The ones who have joined us today for the first time, I request you to please fill this form by the time we move ahead. We also have talked about objectives of this bootcamp in the first session as well. I'll quickly summarize them for you all, for all the new joinees who have joined us today. So the objective of this bootcamp is to empower all the educators by strengthening your guys' understanding of coding and artificial intelligence and enhancing your 21st century skills. We will also be providing you experience of these 21st century skills with hands-on experience and learning experience of to all the educators about this latest technological skills on PictoBlox Junior blocks. Moreover, we will be making each one of you confident enough to discuss these skills with your students by enhancing not just their technical skills, but also focusing on their cognitive development and building a higher IQ, EQ, and CQ as well. We will also be providing you an exposure to all the educators that have joined us to be an ambassador of AI and coding learning. So these are the objectives that are the heart of this bootcamp. And of course, this bootcamp wouldn't be possible without the support of our supporters who have been supporting us throughout the bootcamp journey. Thank you so much for supporting us. Now it's an honor to introduce you to today's guest speaker, Ms. Raina Obaid ma'am. She is the STEM director at MSc Smart Learning School, KSA. I'm very happy to have her back. You all might have seen her in the previous boot camps as well. So ma'am is here again, yet another thriving boot camp to share her knowledge and expertise about the topic stories and kids. I will be again asking few questions to Ms. Raina ma'am, and she will be answering them according to her knowledge and expertise and sharpen your knowledge as well. I welcome you, ma'am.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much, Vivek. And I am very excited to be with this elite group of educators, teachers, learners who are very enthusiastic about learning more about PictoBlox, Junior Blocks, and AI, STEM education, and using the technology and technical tools to make the education process more productive, more enjoyable for the students, for the teachers as well, and for the process of education. I'm very happy to share my small experience with you and thoughts about how to make this journey of learning more interesting to the coming generation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming up and honoring us in this Educators Bootcamp. Thank you so much. So we will be talking and discussing about few questions that I have on the topic of stories and kids, because this session is aligned with story making with scenes. So, ma'am, I hope you're ready for the question, for the first question.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
That was there. Yes, ma'am. So the first question coming to your way, ma'am, compare between your school education and what are the changes that you see now in terms of courses, in terms of methodologies of teaching and evaluation methodology as well, ma'am.
This is a very nice question, Vivek. And as a matter of fact, let's compare between the way I was taught and my school in the past and the modern schools we are watching and we are running and we are working on at the current time. In my school days in the past, education was more traditional, it was basically a pencil and a paper, everything we used to write it. We focus on memorization, we focus on standardized testing, we were limited only to mathematics, science, languages, history. Sometimes, if we are very lucky, we will get that teacher who is going to encourage us to learn about logic or experience some experiments in the science lab. Nowadays, the modern education emphasizes on a very holistic approach. Courses now include STEM education, they include digital literacy, emotional intelligence, and emotional learning, creative arts. This is, we're talking about a very big jump in education. It is not as usual as before. As a matter of fact, we focus nowadays on project-based learning. We focus on critical thinking, technology integration, also not only on the ICT sessions or on the robotics, but also technology integration using the tablets, using the smart boards, using the technical devices inside the regular classrooms, inside the language classroom, inside the mathematics, inside even the art classroom. So in all classes, students now are using technical devices. Even the teachers, they use technical devices and more applications in the evaluation methods and the testing methods. This has increased the ways of formative assessments and summative assessments, peer reviews, portfolio submissions, many other comprehensive ways that help the students and the teachers to reach a better outcomes in education. I'm very happy to spotlight in this progress over time, because watching before and after, being a student in the 80s and now being a school leaders in the 2024 is enabling us to see a wider perspective where education is heading, what a teacher and a student need to be a global citizen and to understand the language of the century, the new century, to cope with the different updates in technology and in science. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm actually aligning with your thoughts over here. And I've literally jotted down a few of the points that you were talking about, that the modern education also not just focuses on, a holistic approach, but also on digital literacy and increasing the emotional intelligence and EQ as well. It's more focused on project-based learning, and now the use of technical devices is very common in the classroom. So that is something that I feel like I have also experienced, though I'm not that experienced that as well, because the teaching learning methods that I have seen in my classroom are now completely changed in the classroom that I see in the modern era. So there is just one cross question from the chat box that I would like to pick for this question only. That the question is emotional intelligence increasing with technology, ma'am?
Yeah, I believe that technology, motivates the emotional intelligence and the social intelligence for students. How? Sometimes parents say that I am worried about my kid because he uses the tablet all the time. Sometimes the teacher says, I advise some mothers to let their kids stay away from the technical tools. Now we are talking about two different things. Okay, we're talking about the time a child spends in front of technical devices, such as a tablet or playing games. Okay, and a time a child might spend learning during using the technical devices, and how this will make them more curious about life and about the learning process. As a matter of fact, technology helps us to connect to people across the world. Without technology, I will not be talking in this seminar or webinar. Without technology, I will not know STEMpedia. I will not know Vivek and all my colleagues back there working in another continent maybe. And I am very happy and very proud to catch this chance and be with you on the live stream. So without technology, even my students in my school will not participate in Codever 6.0 next year or the coming event. And this is also something enabled them to develop their emotional skills and social skills and intelligence level, and this intelligence skills in order to, they improve the language skills, communication with other nationalities across the globe, understanding that all of them, they talk one language, the language of junior blocks, PictoBlox, the language of coding and AI. This is what I believe, and I strongly go and recommend all the parents, all the educators to motivate their kids toward learning the new language, the language of coding, the language of the AI and robotics, because it is a common language between different people across the earth. Okay, and this is how it helped them to develop their social and emotional skills. Let me tell you a story of one kid. We have one kid in the school, and without mentioning this amazing kid name, he has difficulty in coping in the class because he moved from another school. And because we have this special and unique school, smart learning schools, and we have this unique, method of teaching using STEM education and integration. So we help this kid coping in the teamwork using technology and using how building the robots and learning the Scratch and the PictoBlox and the junior blocks. This helped him to cope with other students, and he start talking and expressing and communicating with the teacher. Let's say we encourage him to explore his ideas with the team, improve his communication skills through using the this stream of teaching technical skills. So I'm very proud of what we are achieving, and I hope that all the schools, they carry on across the continent and across the world to motivate students, improve their communication skills, language skills, through teaching them the new language.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I really feel like we all are on the same page, not just me, but all the people who have joined us from all around the globe. We definitely align with your thoughts plus your expertise on this particular topic. Moving towards the next question, ma'am. in your opinion, how do you think that storytelling helps in getting kids' attention to teach them? Is it a pro or a con to a classroom?
Okay, let me tell you something, Vivek. And as you know, if you want to reach to the kid's mind, you have to tell him a story. If you want to introduce a letter in English, you have to tell him that, for example, Bob the bear do this and this, and he likes to eat uh, from belly bees like this. So you have to repeat the letter or across. So storytelling is one important tool in order to convey information to kids. And I think if the teachers use storytelling in programming, they will achieve an amazing results, teaching the students how to build stories using coding, and they will make even integration with English, integration with science to convey the message they want them to convey through storytelling. Also, teachers, they can use storytelling to make their learning process more interesting. So in students in all ages, not only elementary, not only young students, but also if we talk about middle-aged students, they will enjoy having storytelling in order to, develop a wider idea about what's going on in the world around them, and even in the subject they are getting in the school. It will give them, it will attract the children attention and make the class very enjoyable to them. And it will support the cognitive as well as the emotional development for the kids, because you are telling them a story to attract their attention and make them involved in the story, and the smart teacher will make the students involved in the story and make the story main character one of the students without a name. So a kid in a grade 2 like to move from point A to point B, for example. What are you going to help them moving to the right or moving to the left using the programming techniques? And if you give him a name of one of the students, this student will be very happy to share his name in the platform. So I believe that the most important tool for 21st century skills teachers is to have dynamic, effective learning environment. And this will not happen without gamification and storytelling inside the classroom. I hope I answered well.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, you answered it very well. Again, I've jotted down some of the points that learning starts this way only by storytelling, because I think this lays a very good foundation of the teaching practices that the teachers might continue in the classroom to make the classroom more engaging and fun and interactive, and students can absorb what exactly is being taught in the class. So definitely we are on the same page in this one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vivek, I always remember a story that one of my teacher, she used to tell us every morning. She used to talk about a very lazy turtle and a very fast rabbit, and both they race till they reach the school. So she used to motivate us, encourage us by telling us that we are the rabbits team. We are not the turtles team. So you have to move fast. And she used to, act in front of the assembly in the morning. You have to move fast like a rabbit, eat fast like a rabbit, and think clear. But you have to think slowly when you are taking your decisions, just like a turtle. So storytelling is there since very far away. Maybe using it in a new frame, technical frame, is something will make all of our students wins the race, definitely. So I believe that it was a favorite thing among the teachers in the past, and it carries on. Even our mothers, they used to tell us stories before we sleep. So before you go to sleep, your mother, Vivek, she used to sing for you and tell you a story about a good kid who go to sleep at 6 p.m. every night, so that you will have a rest of mind by yeah. So this is about storytelling.
Definitely, I agree that my mother used to narrate me a story, a bedtime story, and yes, I have heard the tortoise and the rabbit story as well. Okay, moving to the third question, ma'am. If you could share one famous childhood story which you have heard in your school time,
Yeah,
except
I
the tortoise one.
said, why don't you share one of your stories, Vivek?
Sure, sure. I'll share my.
And
So
now you are much younger than me. So I think you have to share a story that we can apply on the platform and we can inspire the attendants to, use this story in programming. How about that?
definitely we can do that. We can. A lot of you might have heard about the thirsty crow story. So we can just narrate that story in such a way that it aligns with the technological aspects as well. Like there is a thirsty crow, but now the thirsty crow needs a human help. Now how exactly you will be helping out the thirsty crow? So you can make something with the help of Corky, you can make something with help of PictoBlox, and make sure that whenever the water level goes down below a certain point, the water itself, the pot fills itself. So something like that can be taught in a classroom, I feel like, when we are relating to the technological aspects as well. And the traditional stories can be turned into a modern story with these 21st century technological skills. And I think it will boom up the education system. I hope
And
you.
it will enjoyable for the students. And you know what's amazing about using the stories in PictoBlox and inside the platforms and making them, up to date is that the teachers can integrate not only technology, but also the students can start by drawing the stories by themselves with a pencil. Then they can, from this sketch, apply it to programming, and they can write then using English. So here we integrate more than one subject, and this meets the standards of the new education, 21st century critical skills we are looking for in the young generation.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely. We are looking forward to that as well. So, just like a few more questions that are coming up, that I just want you to answer. And after that, I think we will be done. So a lot of teachers who have joined us do really think that storytelling and the way that you have mentioned it lays the foundation of the teaching methodology that one should opt while teaching students and introducing them to these new skills. But the question that comes up is that how exactly you think these new technological skill is going to rephrase the teaching methodology, and how do you think it's going to affect the classroom?
Thank you for asking this question. And I believe that it is very important for us to highlight the impact of using these technologies inside the classroom and how they are going to affect the way of teaching, the classroom environment, and the classroom management. Three things. So first, the way of teaching, the teachers will teach up to date. She will be, or he will be, equipped with all technical tools they needed. The knowledge, nobody is saving their knowledge. Everybody is giving seminars, webinars, training courses over the net. You can register here and there and gain the knowledge that you need. So now you are a new teacher with a new perspective and with a new ambition. And I want you guys to be very ambitious toward technology, toward AI, toward coding. Okay. Number two, the classroom environment. Now, the teacher, she has to prepare, or he has to prepare this classroom to be adaptive to new technologies. Allocate students in a way that you can manage them. If you don't have a lot of resources, for example, some schools, they don't have a lot of technical tools. They don't have like 3-4 labs of computer labs. So you can make students in a group and they can share the devices they need, and you can judge and evaluate the work using platforms in front of the students to motivate them. So here we are talking about the impact of technology, not only in teaching, but also in assessment, evaluation, and in the whole process. Thank you very much for asking this question.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And this question was actually asked by a lot of educators in the chat box. And I feel like this is very true that we have to make sure that the teachers are, on the same page and are ambitious to learn about these latest technologies. Plus, they are, managing a classroom environment in such a way that even with lack of resources, they're able to, focus and help kids to learn these tools. Thank you so much, Ms. Rania, ma'am, for tuning in. And yeah,
And thank you everyone for being in our webinar for today. And I hope you all good luck and enjoy the boot camp. It's an amazing opportunity to learn, to improve yourself, and to also participate in the coming season for our competition. Thank you.
thank you so much, Rania, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Now, once again, a very, heartiest thank you to Rania, ma'am, for sharing her expertise about stories and kids and how exactly it's going to impact our classroom. Moving ahead, I will be just talking about the additional perks that you have when you are participating in the boot camp. So this boot camp is not just focused on providing you certifications and badges and to be an ambassador, but it also focuses on providing and delivering the best quality content that you can use and best quality practices that you can use to empower the young kids and to transform your classroom to change it to more focus towards the new technological era and modernize your classroom. So you will be getting a hands-on on the latest technological skills. You will be getting an opportunity to learn with educators from all around the globe. You will be getting the teaching resources, earning badges and certificates, and there are many more to come as well. So make sure that you stay tuned throughout this boot camp, and we will be having a lot of new announcements in the closing ceremony. With that, I also mentioned yesterday that we will be having a top performers race in which we will be giving top 10 performers STEMpedia's AI and robotics kits, which is a key way to learn these 21st century skills in a fun and engaging way. So we will be informing about you how you can participate in the top performers race at the end of this session. So without further ado, let me welcome Miss Devi, the master trainer of STEMpedia, to take it forward. Over to you, Miss Devi.
Thank you so much, Vivek. Hello, educators. Once again, welcoming you all for the International Bootcamp of Introducing Junior Blogs and PictoBlox. I hope you all aligned with Miss Ranya's talk mentioned in his expert, and you have gained some knowledge about it. Now, without any delay, let's move to the session number 2. Session 2, Story Making with Scenes. Educators, get ready for it undercoding adventure where you will unlock the power of story making in junior blocks. In today's session, we'll be covering up the topics of introducing to the story making, an overview of scenes in junior blocks, learn more about the block palette, how to add sounds to your story. Finally, giving you a hands-on experience on the activity of Tobi and John play football. Let's get in depth into the topic of introduction to the story making. The picture itself says it's a story of the tortoise and the hare. So when you look immediately for all of your educators, the story might have run in your mind in a sequence in the order of a scene. Yes, story making refers to a process of creating and developing a narrative involving the construction of characters, settings, and plots to convey a story. What is the role of junior blocks helps in the story making? First, important, enhancing cognitive skills. So this gives logical thinking for all the kids. How? By creating a sequence of commands, which helps the kids to tell a story in the correct order, which helps to develop logical and computational thinking. Next, comprehensions. So children will learn how to break the story down into a small parts, and they will understand the sequence of the events. Next comes here, encouraging creativity. So students will know how the junior blocks will allow the kids to put their idea, which is running in their mind, into a visualization view of narrative and enhancing their abilities to convey their story creatively. Interactive elements, by adding an interactive elements like changing the costumes, adding an animations, and changing their backdrops, which help the kids to make the story in more interesting the progress and more engaging and dynamic. Finally, when it comes to building social and emotional skills, collaborative projects, this is very important skills over here. While the children starts working in a group, they know how to work together while they're working on the projects, and also they learn to collaborate with the kids, and which help their communications skills effectively. Emotional expressions, this is very important right now in this 21st century skills. Through their stories, children will learn to express their emotions, and also the important point over here is they will also learn how to understand the emotions of others. Now it comes to the topic of sequence. This is a part which plays a very important role in the story. Sequence, it is a step-by-step plan of a story which have to execute in the right order. So it is a fundamental steps for making a story, as this provides a structure, and it provides an engagement, and it supports the characters and the emotional developments, and also finally it ensures overall clarity and coherence of the story. What are scenes? When you look at this picture of a thirsty crow, you could look, there are pixelates of images of 6 scenes over here. This image itself clearly explains a story. So scenes play a vital role while you develop a story. So today you will also learn how to create your own story by using this scenes and sequence. As your scenes explain here, the clues for searching of a water. Once it finds a pot full of water which has been halfway, it's tried to drink where it couldn't, its beak couldn't reach the water. Then it thought to fill up with the nearby stone so that the height of the water in the pot get increased. So finally, it had its water effectively with the full thirsty, then it flew away. This is how the sequence you can connect only by looking at the pictures. You can narrate your own story the way you require. This is how the scene plays a vital role, and it is a fundamental tool while you develop your stories. It's time to jump into the junior blocks to learn about the more block palettes additional to the palettes of the blocks that you learned in extra day session. So every stories have their special attributes, and you have to know how to contribute the blocks while you're making your storytelling process. Be familiarize yourself with these elements of the blocks. You will be better equipped to create engaging stories and make the most of your storytelling experience. Here come looks palette. So there are the blocks which we will be using in today's session. Some of the blocks you might have already underwent in the extra day sessions, like show, hide. This is a new block. Show, which helps you to visualize your sprite on the stage. Hide, which help your sprite to disappear from the stage. Grow and shrink. All my educators who ever attend the extended extra day session might be very well developed with those blocks, how to increase and decrease the size of your sprites. Mirror effect, which helps you to change the orientation of a sprite. See, which helps the sprite to communicate the conversations of a sprite. Now let's move to very interesting palettes called event palette. So all my PictoBlox educators who have already experienced in your hands-on with the PictoBlox, can you please give your quick answer in the comment blocks? What is broadcast and what is when I receive? For a just quick reply I expect in your comment. Vivek, could you please check over the comment, and could you please?
Yes, I'm waiting for everyone's response. Events, messaging, sending
Yes.
business.
Yes, right.
So events.
Yes. So this is from the events palette, and the first message, it indicates that the when message is received. So here, this is a way of broadcast and receive. So let's know what is broadcasting here. Broadcasting is the message is being delivered to a multiple sprites at the same time. This is how the broadcast will be used. So in our today's class project, we are going to use all these blocks of broadcast and when I receive, and we will be exploring how this blocks effectively works in the story making process. Last block of our events in today's class start on touching objects. So this is very interesting block that you'll be exploring. When you touch the particular sprite, the blocks or the scripts that's been connected to this block will get executes only once you touch your sprite, unless this block will not execute. Control palette. This is very important palette that you will be exploring in today's sessions. In the last class, you all have learned how to add the scene. But in today's class, you are also going to learn how to change the scene from one scene to other scene by using this backdrop block. Be eager, get ready, set to learn more about the scene palette blocks. Sound palette. It's more interesting. To make your story very interesting and to make it communicatively effective and engaging, we have here sound block. So sound block helps you to give the live emotions of a sprites by adding a sound. So we will also exploring these blocks in your storytelling project by adding a sounds to the sprite. Let's have a quick view how to add a sound to the sprite. So we have a fifth block palette in the palette session, which is a sound palette. Select the sound palette and click on the add icons, which is highlighted in the yellow color. The sound library will get opened. So as you know, there are three ways to choose your sound library: by scrolling, choosing the category, typing the sound name in the search toolbar. So if you know the sound search name, example, they have clicked the bounds over here by writing it in the search box. The sound appears and we have to select the sound. Once you select the sound, that gets automatically ordered in your sound palette. So now you can just get ready to add it to your script, drag it and connect it to a script and check by clicking on the flag, or if it works by clicking on the sprite. So this is how you will be adding your sound palette to your sprites. Yes, educators, it's time to move to an hands-on experience of activity 1, today's session. Tobi and John play football. Let's first look into the objective of this session. This super fun activity teaches you to create a game using Junior blocks. You will be able to create a football game with 2 players, John and Tobi. So now it's time to open your PictoBlox and look how it is going to help you. So once you click, the PictoBlox gets opened in this way. Now you know we are going to get inside into the Junior blocks. It's time to click on the Junior blocks. This is how the interface of your Junior blocks gets opened. So all my educators, we already know how to do this. So the first and foremost step to do this project is setting up your stage. To set up a stage, the first thing is you have to add backdrops. Second, add sprites. Third, fix the position of your sprite. So these are the 3 ways that you can do to set up the sprite's position, to setting up your stage. Now let's do this process one by one. But in today's storytelling process, we have to add 2 scenes. So please remember, the first scene that you're going to add is school. The second scene that you are going to add is soccer. Okay, so now let's do this. Then we will add a sprites and we will fix the position of a sprite. Let's do this. So now to add your backdrop, just let us click on the icon which is over here. So you will be clicking this icon, which will help you to add your new backdrop. So this is where you will be adding the backdrop. Let's click on this icon. Once you click on this icon, where the backdrop library gets opened. So now we are going to add a background of school. So let's directly go to the search and let's type school. Yes, you can see the scene background of a school gets appeared. Now, the second screen, we will be adding it to how to add the second scene. So to add the second scene, you have to follow some steps. So what is the first step that you will be following? You will be clicking on this choose a background. So once you click on this icon, the second scene will get pop up over here, which will be blank as you seen in the first scene, which will allow you to add the scene number 2. Let's do and check how it's working. So you can see that the Tobi is a sprite that default appears while you create every scene. It's time to change the background here. So the backdrop that you are going to choose here is soccer. So let's click the backdrop library by clicking on choose a backdrop icon. The library of this gets open. Now I'm also going to help you how to choose it from the category. So for that, let's go to sports. Is a category of the soccer that gets up here. So I can see there are 2 soccer that get shown over to me here. The first one is a soccer. The second one is soccer 2. So let me go up with today's session with this soccer 1. So to add them, gently click on this soccer, it gets added. So now you can see that both the scenes are getting highlighted in your stage. So now you are going to start your code from the scene 1. So please make sure that you are changing from the scene 2 of soccer to the scene 1 by clicking on the school scene. So it's now ready for the backdrop and the scenes that are required for today's story making has been added. Now it's time to add a sprite. So for the first scene, we will be adding a sprite of Tobi, which is really needed. The second sprite that you are going to add is John. So to add a sprite, let us click on choose a sprite icon. As I can see, John appears as the second sprite in the sprite library. Rather than going to the category of a people and choosing, I would directly choose the John as I can see John over here. Yes, so you can see my John and my Tobi is ready, set for the stage. But the last but not least, the step, it's very important. You have to set the position of John and Tobi. So before doing that, let us reduce the size of both of them to make a realistic exhibitions of a simulation. What we did in the last class of Tobi while walking towards Hazel, how we increase the size. The same way we are going to increase the size later in the code, but while starting, they are in the distance away from us. So let's decrease the size of both the sprites by shrink tool block from the looks palette because it works on the appearance. Let's go to the looks palette. So if you fail to know which is a shrink block, please hover your mouse on the blocks. You could find it out once after the 3 seconds, the name of the particular block will get displayed. So it says that it is a shrink. So now I am in John. So when I click, John gets shrink for 1 times that its original size. So now let's remove this block from John. It's time to reduce the size of Tobi. Let's go to the Tobi sprite. Let's go to the looks palette. And let's take size decrease, which is a shrink block from a looks palette. Once again, click. Yes, both of them is ready set for their size even. Now you have to set the positions of both the sprites from where they are going to start their movement. So to do that, there are 2 ways. One is by controlling through the blocks. Next is by just dragging and dropping them. In this scene, we will learn just by dragging and dropping. In the upcoming scene, we will learn how to locate the sprites by using a location block. Now let's drag and drop John and Tobi in their respective positions. It's ready for both the sprites. Now setting up of a stage is done by adding a backdrops of both the scenes and adding a sprite for your first scene and reducing the size sprite by using a shrink block from a looks palette, and finally setting up their positions just by dragging and dropping. Now it's time for us to create a blocks. Now time to let's code. So first, let's start the code with Tobi. Followed by that, we will be doing a code to John. So let's click on the Tobi sprite. Yes, Tobi is already selected. Now, to make a little more animation for the Tobi, the first foremost step we will do, let's just hide and let us make them to show. Go to looks. Take a height and take a show block. So what happens with this block? This block just make a Tobi to disappear and within a fraction of seconds to appear on the stage. Let's look how it's work. This is how it's work. So let's click once again. Yes, so the Tobi once got disappeared and appeared on the stage immediately after a fraction of seconds. Now the next step over here is we have to make a Tobi to follow in the downward directions so that he is coming in the front of a stage. Just in this direction, he has to come. So this direction, if we have to move, we have to make use of the motion palette. So because movements of the sprites falls under the category of motion palette. So let's go to the motion palette. Let's add a block, come down, which is a down block. This is a down block. Let's connect it. We want it one step down. This is how we want them to appear. So once he come one step down, now let's run and check our block, how he is working. Yes, he came one step down ahead. This is how the code will work. Now again, please don't forget to fix the position of Tobi back to its place. Why? Because we haven't fixed the position of a block by using a location block. But we can do that I'll explain you in the upcoming scene. So once the Tobi is coming near, now we have to make sure the size of the Tobi is getting increased. So for that, let's again, it is a change of appearance. Let's go to looks palette. Let's add a block grow. This block will help you to increase the size of the Tobi by 1. So this is the code eventually that makes a simple animation for the Tobi by making him disappear, appear, moving forward, then increasing his size. So as you know, this blocks will only work when you click on the event palette of when a flag is clicked. So let's go to the event palette. Let's add a block when a flag is clicked. Yes, educators, we are done with the Tobi code of a simple animation of hiding and walking and growing. This is a simple code that we have done. Next up, we have to start the same code to John. So rather than going to John's sprite, again doing this code, we have a simplest way to do this. How? Just go to Tobi. This is a script that's been done. Drag the script. The best part over here is you can drag them out of scripting area as I show you now. So to the which sprite you want to place them, drag the blocks and keep it on top of the particular sprite. You can see it's been highlighted in the purple color, the full sprite, and you could see there is a motion of the particular sprite. It indicates you that the sprite is getting ready to receive the script that you are going to draft it in. So now it's time to check the John has received the script from the Tobi just by clicking on the John sprite. Yes, you can see that John has received the script from the Tobi. Just you can drag the blocks and you can place it in the middle of a screen where you want it. Now, simple animation for both the sprites of making them to disappear and appear and making them to move, walk forward and increase their size has been done. It's time to start a communication between John and Toby. Let's do what's going to happen here now. For this, first, let's start with John. So John is going to just start its communication with the Toby from the looks palette by using a message say block. So the say block, drag it and drop it. And let's have a message over here as hi Toby. Followed by that, now let's have a second message. How was the school? So he also want to add a conversation little lengthier with the Toby. So he would like to add a message block over here by adding a message, how was school? Fine. So now I would like to execute only this two block and check what is happening to my code. Hello educators, be attentive. Now the question is going to fall on you. Just look. Okay, I could see only the script of the message. How was the school is displayed on my stage? Why? Could anyone from the educators in the command, can you please answer to your command? Why hi Toby message is not displayed? Only how was the school is being message is being displayed on your stage. Why? What is missing in your script? Vivek, could you please check and let me know? Yes, educators. So here we are failed to add a block called wait. So wait is very important block which helps you to increase your conversation healthy so that the first message is not getting disappeared. If you fail to add a wait block, this is what happened. All the blocks whichever you connected before this will get disappeared. Only the block that's been connected at the end of your script will be displayed. So now let's add wait. Let's go to control. Let's drag and drop wait. Let's change 1 to 2. Now, let us check the same code by clicking on this once again. Yes. Now, I believe you can see the difference. Now, the message of hi, Toby, how was the school? It's been displayed on the stage. Now, you are going to learn the important thing over here. It's time to connect them. The important thing is, so how to make this block to disappear. So in PictoBlox, we have a block called say for particular seconds. So after the seconds, the block get disappeared automatically. But in Junior Blocks, we have to do a work on it. So unless you add an empty message at the end of this block, the particular block with the script of how was the school will not get deleted until the scene 1 gets complete. So please make sure if you want to end this conversation of John, so you have to add the empty message box at the end of the script. So let's add it. So as always, before adding that, let's go to control, add a wait. Let's go to looks. Let's add a say block. And please empty in the sense, just not by typing a word empty in it, just by removing and making the blocks white space without not even a single dot or letter has been typed into this box. So this block will help you to remove how was the school message from a stage. Now just you can see when I had clicked this block, what's going to happen. So hi Toby, how was the school? The message get disappears from the stage. So this is how you can make the script of a message to disappear from a stage by adding the empty message blocks at the end once your conversation is completed. It's time to add a wait block. Go to control, add a wait 1 second block over here. Here comes the major important role of this today's effective sessions, broadcast and receive. So what is the importance of broadcast and receive? Broadcast. First step, John is going to broadcast a message to Tobi. Tobi will be the receiver here. Second, so let's mark X over here, who is broadcasting. Let's put tick over here, who is a receiver. Followed by that, next, Tobi will be broadcasting the message and the receiver will be John. So in this case, we are going to learn 2 blocks of broadcast by using the John and Tobi's script. So the first thing, John is going to broadcast a message. So to broadcast a message, let's start from the event palette. So you have a broadcast message. This is a broadcast message which help you to broadcast. Let's take it and connect it at the end of this page. In a broadcast message, what is the importance of this inverted drop-down box? Yes. So in the PictoBlox, we have a broadcast message by you can type your new message if you're aware of it. By typing the message, you will broadcast. But here in Junior Blocks, to make it very simple for the kids, we have added a new feature. Just by clicking on color of the letterbox, they can choose the type of the broadcast that they needed. So let's explore how it's going to work. Let's click on drop down. So there are 6 different colors of a broadcast, which says you can do 6 times a broadcast of a message in a single story at a time. So now you can choose whatever the color that you like for a first broadcast for a job. But very important note is here. The broadcast color of the message that you're choosing should be the receiver from the other end, from the Tobi side, the same color message box. So now I'm going to choose your blue. So this is my broadcast message that the John is sending a message to the Tobi. Now it's time for Tobi to receive the message. Let's click on Tobi sprite. In the Tobi sprite, to receive a message from the John, let's go to events. This block, when I receive, helps you to receive a message from the Tobi. As you see, even the broadcast message has an inverted triangle of drop-down list, which help you to choose the color of the message letter. Same way, we have the structure in the when I receive blocks as well. So it has the same 6 colors, what you have seen in your broadcast message. Just click and look. Yes. So what you have broadcasted there is the blue color of light blue, sky blue. The same sky blue, you are going to click it over here to receive the message from John. Yes. So John has already given a communication. Hi, Tobi. How was the school? Now it's time for Tobi to reply the message to the John. So let's go to looks palette, add a say block. The message is, hi, John. Followed by that, the message is going to be, it was great. So this it was great is a message that he is giving reply for John's question, how was school? So he's giving a reply to John's question, it was great. Now please don't ever fail to add a block of wait in between both the same script. Let's go to control. Let's add a wait of 2 seconds. Now, to make this communications little lengthier, Tobi would like to invite John to play a football game. So now Tobi is going to add another message by inviting John to the game of playing soccer. So let's add a message by using a say block. Let's replace the message of hello with let's play football. Now, the important point here, once again, whenever you connect the two script which has a message, don't ever forget to add your wait block. It's time to add your wait blocks. Let's go to control. At the wait of 2 seconds. Yes. Now it's time to make this message to disappear from the stage. So always remember, it's once again to recall you all to remove or to disappear a message from the stage. You have to remove the message and make it empty so that the empty message appears on your stage. So the let's play football would get disappear. So let's add wait in between both the message of the scripts. Let's go to say, let's add a message block by removing this empty. Finally, the communications by using broadcast and when I receive between John to Toby is completed. So we have broadcasted the message. Once the John completes its talk, it's been received by Toby. Toby is completes its talk. Now, the Toby is asking a question to a John. Let's play football. Now, this is a trigger question that's been triggered to the John. Now, how will John knows that the Toby asked me this question that I have to reply? Same way, we have to add a broadcast message. So once the Toby broadcasts a message, it will automatically received by John. So let's do the same. Let's go to event palette. Let's choose a block called the message. Please make sure that it's very important note that you are changing the color of the message box. Why? Because already we have added the message box with the blue color. So if you add once again, it gets overlap and the script get collapse. Toby and John will get collapsed, both start speaking at the same time, who and where to receive the message. So to please avoid this kind of collapse in your storytelling projects, we have to make sure the broadcast and receive blocks are in the right way order it's selected. So already the blue is selected by the John to deliver his broadcast message to the Toby. We have left with 5 different colors to trigger the broadcast message from Toby to John. Let's click on this drop down. Yes, so it's time to choose the next color, red. So now we have triggered the block of red color where the message has been broadcasted to the John. It's time for John to receive the message from the Toby by using when receive red color message blocks. So to receive a message, let's click on John. Yes. So now once you click on this screen of the John sprite appears, it's time to go to events, add when I receive message block. Please don't fail to change the color. Once again, I'm giving you in the loop. It's very important to change the color of the message blocks just by clicking on the drop down. Let's choose a red color. So now John is going to give a reply to the Toby for the question, let's play football. Let's go to looks palette and add a message. Sure. Now it's again, you have to make this message to get disappeared from the stage. How to do it? Let's add an empty message. Let's go to control, add a wait. Let's go to looks. Let's add a hello. Let's delete this message. So now their conversation is completed for both the sprites. Now leading to the second scene of soccer, they both will stand in this position. Now they have to move towards to the right side, as in the school, the soccer playground is placed on the right side of the ground. So they will be moving in this direction. So we have to attach the block of right to both the sprites of John and Toby. So first, let's attach it to the John and let's move to the script of John, Toby to attach next. Let's go to motion palette. Let's add moving right. with the block of weight in middle. Replace this with 8. Now don't fail to add it to Tobi as well. Let's go to Tobi. Let's go to control. Add a weight of 2 seconds. Movement of the block, motion palette towards the right, 10. So now we are done with the first scene scripting code. Now let's run and check. To run and check the first script, let's go to the full screen control, which is in the right bottom of your screen. So let me click on the flag to check how it works. Yes, so we are done with the first scene. Now, John is the last sprite who has been communicating in this scene. So now he is the one who is going to help us to move to the second scene. So to do that, let's go to the control palette. You have an option called change scene. So this change scene block will help you to switch from one scene to another scene. This is a block. Let's take it and place it. Now let's run one again by viewing it in the full screen control mode. Plus, please make sure that you are going back and placing the sprite in the right way. And go to the looks. Please make sure you're decreasing the size of John and you're decreasing the size of Tobi. Check their position once again. Place them perfectly on your stage. Now click on the full control screen control view. Let's click on the flag to check what's happening. Yes, you could see that the second scene appears immediately once it's moved. But the wondering thing here is, where is my John? Yes, educators, this is very important point that you have to keep note while you make your scenes, multiple scenes. Every scene when you create new, the default sprite that will appear here is only Tobi. Again, when you want to create a new scene, you are supposed to add the sprites once again, and then the second scene starts. It's like the second phase of your storytelling project. So the first phase of the first scene is completed. Now again, the rotation falls from the setting a stage. So now it's time to set your stage for the second scene. This background is already set, so no problem. One of the sprite that we needed, Tobi, it's also ready, set to go. The second sprite it's needed is John. Let's choose a sprite John by clicking choose a sprite. Let's fix the position of a John. Now it's time to add a soccer ball because it's the playground of the soccer. So we have to make sure that we are adding a soccer ball that makes them to play by using the soccer ball. Let's click on choose a sprite. Rather than scrolling and typing directly, you can also go to the sports and you can find the soccer ball. The soccer ball appears on your stage. It's time for you to fix the position of your soccer ball. So now let's involve here the position of the location block, which will help you to fix the position of your sprite. First, take a sprite by dragging it and drop it in the location where you want your sprite to appear on the stage. I want my soccer to place in between John and Tobi. So now let's go to motion palette. Let's choose a location block. This is a location block that you will be choosing. Now you may ask how to fix the location. For that, let's click on drop down. So you can see here the pointed arrow shows here the current position of your ball, and the two darkened highlighted shows the position of Tobi and the sprite John. So now you want the position of soccer to appear over here. So let me explain. This is the position of your Toby who is standing. This is the position of your John who is standing. This is your current position of your soccer who is stand, which is placed. So now it's giving highlighted that if you want to place it here, this is a live location of the soccer, which has been showing here. So now we want the soccer to place in the live location, which has been highlighted by using a location icon. So just let's click on that. Yes, so now we have set ready with the location block of the soccer ball. It's done, placed its position. Let's close this drop down. So to close this drop down, just click on this scripting area. Automatically, the block which has been popped down will get closed. Now, the first step, we are going to make a ball to move towards John. So it is in the direction of the right side. So by moving 10 steps. Let's go to motion. Let's add a block of movement with the 10 by adding weight in between. So now let's run and check what is happening to the soccer. Yes, you can see that soccer ball is crossing the John and passing out of the edge of the stage. So now it comes where the major block place here is touching sprite. So we are going to introduce a new block here, touching sprite from the event palette. So what is the use of this block? Now we are going to say a message to a soccer. If the soccer touches the John, it has to move in the opposite direction. So let's do the code for the same. Let's go to event. Let's add the block. Click and choose John. So this indicates that the ball, when it touches the John, it comes back towards the left side directions in the speed of 10. So now it's time to run and check your code. What's happening for the soccer? Let's click and check. Yes. On the side of John, it's done. But similarly, I have to do the code for the Toby as well. So to do the Toby, let's right click, duplicate this code and change the John as Toby and just take a left arrow block and add 10. So now this is how the code will work of just passing the ball. Let's just run and check how it's work. Yes, this is how let's play football games work. But the project looks little dumb. Why? Because John and Toby is just standing as in the same place with a stable position. So now we have to create a little animation for both of them. So once they touch the ball, we have to create the motion of change costume here. If you remember, for the session 1, we did for John walking, Toby walking we did. Same, let's go to John sprite. Now we have to add a code from the event. When he touches the ball of soccer, he want to change the costumes of running 1 and running 2. Let's go to looks. Let's take a John. Click over here. To change the multiple costumes, you have an arrow over here. You can just click and slide and check the number of costumes that's been appearing here. Just let's click over here. So running 1, right click, duplicate. Let's add the code running 2. So we are done for the John. Now it's time to add for the Toby. So now when you want to add it for the Toby, it's same. We are going to go to Toby sprite. Let's go to events. Let's add the touching block, change it to soccer. Looks, change the costume of Toby to Toby jump. And the Toby. So now when you see after changing the costume, the major difference is John's orientations got changed over here. So it's mandatory to fix the orientation of the job. So you all remember we have known that how to change the orientation. Yes, by using a mirror block. Let's go to John. Events. When a flag is clicked, let's go to looks to change the mirror effect. Now let's check what is happening. So you can see that we have created a small animation between John and Tobi. So to make it a little more effective, we are going to just add 2 lines of communication for both of them. So for that, before doing that, let's add when flag clicked block for the soccer. So first, the ball is with John. So here to make a communications, the Tobi is going to ask John to pass the ball. So event, when a flag is clicked. So here we are going to go to the message block, add a message, pause the ball. After that, please wait for a second. And go to the looks, add an empty message. Please make sure once again for a recall, empty message helps you to delete the script from the stage. Please try to add it, else the message will keep on displaying in your stage until the scene 2 gets completed. Now it's time to go for John. Once Tobi is asking, please pass me the ball, John felt a little funny. Just, yes, he's going to pass. We wait in patience. So he's making a kind of laugh. Let's add a message. Ha ha ha. Now, next to disappear this message, the same way we'll have a wait. And let's add the empty message at the end. Let's delete this message. Now it's time to run and check the second scene of your project, how it is running. So just click on the flag and check what's happening. So pass the ball, he is asking, the ball is in the Tobi. Yes, so the mistake over here is we have to change the orientation of a John when the flag is clicked. So initially, let's change the orientation. Once you click the flag, it's getting again changed. So let the orientation be original. Now when I click on the flag, automatically it gets sort. Yes, to make this little more interesting, this is the last block that you are going to excel here to add a sound from the soccer once you get the kick from the John and the Tobi. So to do that, it's going to be added in between both the script of when touching. So for that, you already know, go to the sound palette. There is a block to click on the sound option, which will help you to open your sound library. This icon helps you to open your sound library. So let us click on this icon to open sound library. So the sound library gets open. Here we are going to use the basketball bounce sound. So when you type bounce, you get your basketball bounce. Once you click on it, it gets automatically added over here. So it's already added for me here. So let me take the trigger block over here and let me keep it over here. And similarly, we'll do it for the Tobi. Now let's check the scene 2 working performance of John and Tobi. Let's click on flag clicked. So this is how your project gets work. So now if you want to run and check your story completion from the screen 1 to the screen 2, so we have to go to the screen 1. Then we have to click on the flag. Then the execution of automatically changing the scene to the soccer will get complete over here. Let's check how it is running by clicking on the flag. Yes, this is how you will be doing your project after I have done. So this is a way you have to create a completion of story from screen 1 to screen 2 to move by using changing scene block. To change the animations, you have to use change animation block from a looks, and you have to make sure every scenes have only the default sprite of Tobi. It's your work. Whenever you add a new scene, you make sure that you are adding a particular sprites that are required for the each scene without fail. Setting up a stage is default. It's mandatory for all the scenes while you do your program. Similarly, you also make sure the following of a steps of setting the stage follows with setting your background, make sure the sprites are added, setting the size of your sprites, and adjusting the position of your sprites. After the done, setting up the stage is ready. Now it's time to let's code. So make sure that your code is perfectly working fine. Once it is done, let's move to the next saving part. Let's save the project. Tobi and John plays football. So now your project is ready to get saved. Let's click on File. As you know, we have to click on save to your computer. Once you click save to your computer, the project gets automatically downloaded to your local drive of your computer in the format of SB3 file. So this is how the projects of today's class, how to change the scene and how to create your own animations of costumes gets worked over here. So I believe educators, everyone have understood the projects of how John and Tobi plays their football game. Now comes recreate your favorite story. So this is a very good sessions of recreating. So we are here to give you a new challenge of do it yourselves. So we had fun creating a story with John and Tobi in different scenes. So now in different scenes, now it's time for you to create a fun and adventurous story. So now there are some images of pixelets have been given. You can create a story of day in Tobi's life. Else you can choose any of the story from the children's book and you can create it on your own and you can submit. So handing it over forward to Vivek, he'll guide you how to proceed in the LMS. So forwarding to it, before ending it to handovering it to Vivek, in the next session, we will be learning how to create your own game. So be ready with the same enthusiastic. Let's meet in the next session, handovering it to Vivek.
Thank you so much, Devi. I hope everybody was aligned and everybody was working up to make this activity, make this session more engaging. Thank you so much, Ms. Devi, for the activity. It was very amazing. A lot of educators were commenting about that how long this activity was, but it's actually not true. The activity is very short. It's very simple, but it's your first time experiencing PictoBlox Junior blocks. So therefore, we wanted to take it at a very slow and humble pace so that everybody can understand these concepts in depth, because we also want you to teach these concepts in your classroom and yeah, take it forward from there. So thank you so much, Ms. Devi, and thank you so much, educators, for waiting patiently. Okay, so yesterday I also introduced you to the LMS, which is the Learning Management System of the International Educators Bootcamp, which is a compressive platform that includes all of the session contents, links, and everything. So once you have registered yourself on the AI.STEMpedia website for this bootcamp, your LMS will be there in the My Course area. So let me quickly share my screen and show you the LMS. Yeah. So over here, you have the My Courses area over there. The course will be there, which is of the International Educators Bootcamp. Once you click on it, you will be redirected to the course page. So there was a button over here which says start the course. So if you haven't started the course yet, you have to click on that and then it will continue. So today was session number 2. You can go to session number 2. You can check out the activities plus all the content is there on the LMS course over here for you. With that, you have to, as I mentioned yesterday also, you have to submit your assignments as well. Upon submission, you will be securing your participation certificate plus your guys' participation in the top performers race as well. So yeah, this was a quick overview of the LMS, and let's move ahead then. The LMS is pretty easy. It's pretty simple and straightforward. It's just to help you out and give you the teaching resources that that you can use to teach in your classroom. All right. Moving forward, if you haven't, do join our teacher community group, which is of WhatsApp and Telegram. So you can join either one of them and ask your queries during, before, or after the bootcamp. We will be there to help you out and resolve your queries at the earliest. So make sure to join our teachers community group. Now, before moving forward to the feedback and attendance form, I just want to mention now what are the criteria, what exactly is the criteria of performing or participating in the top performers race. So the criteria is very simple, quite easy. All you have to do is make sure that your course is 100% complete. Make sure you have submitted all the assignments. Make sure that you have submitted the capstone project, and upon which you will get, your participation will be secured in a top performers race. And then we will evaluate your capstone projects and then announce the top 10 performers. We will give you a deadline for the same. The deadline will be announced in the closing ceremony. Don't worry, we will give you plenty of time to check out and make your capstone project and ideate about the same, so that you have enough time to participate in the top performers race. So yeah, that was a simple criteria. You have to submit all your assignments, you have to attend all the sessions, and once you are done with that, you have to submit your capstone project on which we will be giving a dedicated deadline for that, the submission of the capstone project. So yeah, I hope that is pretty clear to all of you. Yes, there will be a deadline which we will be announcing in the closing ceremony. You don't have to worry. Miss Noor? Yeah. Okay. So here is the feedback form and attendance come feedback form for you all. Please scan it up and share your feedback. The link will be there in the chat box as well for your ease. Make sure that you are submitting the feedback form, because that actually marks your attendance for this particular session, and we will be able to, take it forward from there. And of course, as I already mentioned in the first session, marking upon your attendance of each session is mandatory. This will secure your participation certificate. So please take 2 minutes of your time and submit the feedback form. Mr. Noor, I'm really sorry. So I request all of you to please fill the feedback form. And I hope you are enjoying the sessions, because we all have worked very hard to cater your needs and make sure that you learn something new so that you can pass it on to your students. Thank you so much. Let me share the link in the chat box. Yes, definitely all the kids will enjoy this session. It is something that I feel like, because kids that are born these days, and kids that are Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they already were born with mobile phones in their hands. So I feel like it's a great way to start their learning, and teach them these technological concepts with the help of PictoBlox Junior. Focus on building their cognitive development and concepts. So the form link is there in the chat box. I will pin it also for you all. And please note that you have to fill the feedback form. You can also find the feedback form link in the LMS as well. As I showed you, all the session links, important session links will be there in your LMS. Yes, I have just shared the feedback form link. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this session and you learned something new. There is more to come in the upcoming sessions as well. So stay tuned and have a nice day. Bye-bye.